Roll out the coral carpet. It's time for this week's episode of Tagged, with me as a special guest co-host, Gemma Bastiani. Fresh off the back of the 2024 W Awards, I'm here with my jet-setting co-host, Sarah Rowe. You're back from Ireland. Welcome back. Talk to me about it all.
Thanks, Gemma. It's great to have you here today on Tagged. It is a pleasure. But yeah, I went back to Ireland for 8 days, a very flying visit. Yeah. I was like, I got an opportunity, a window of time where I felt like my calendar was free for the first time in, I'd say, 12 months. And I was like, I'm just going to take this opportunity to go home and see family. I think the thing about being so far away from family is you just got to take your moments. And for me, it's like quality over quantity. So I got home and the talks on the street were all about the International Rules Series. It's just one of those, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
I mean, it is. I mean, we've talked about it at length, haven't we? How important and good it would be, because Ireland's bringing some good viewership numbers too.
It is, and it's just kicking off over there. I think so many questions people had, they had two questions for me. One was, is Sarah Hosking single? And I said, she's the biggest red flag ever, so let's not even go there. I do not recommend. And then the second question was, is it true that the Australians might be afraid to play the Irish in case they lose? That was what the speculations were in Ireland. What do you think of that?
You did say this to me when we chatted a few weeks ago. And I genuinely think the Irish team could win. If you lay out an Irish team right now.
So that's why it hasn't happened yet, maybe.
I mean, I think that might be a bit conspiratorial, but it would be a good showcase of the game.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I had a great time in Ireland, though. It was an amazing time. But yeah, lots of talk of AFLW and lots of young girls who were saying, I'd love to go out and play AFLW, and it's now their dream, which is incredible to think how much the game has grown.
And we love having them here.
And also, speaking of, 3 Irish winners last night.
3 Irish All-Australians, all in the forward half.
Yeah.
It was just one after the other. Aisling McCarthy, Aisling Maloney, and then Aileen Gilroy as the half-forward line.
Yeah, it's amazing to see what talent they are bringing, and I suppose that, like, the forward flair that they have, and it's just that instinct that they play on. So, yeah, I think as an Irish person, when you're sitting there at the W Awards, you're just sitting there very proud of what the girls have done. Once a year, the entire AFLW community comes together to celebrate our brightest stars. From the best and fairest to the rising star and the AFLW All-Australian team, this year's champions were truly top shelf. But it wouldn't be the W Awards without a dose of glamour on the coral carpet. Let's take a look. Hi, I'm Sarah Rowe and I'm here at the coral carpet tonight. Everything is about to kick off for the W Awards. I cannot wait to see who's going to win League Best and Fairest, but also what everyone's wearing. So our first guest is Kate McCarthy, and I'm already going to call her for Best Dressed. Kate, give us a twirl.
You're going off very early there, Sarah.
Tell us about your outfit.
I'm stuck here now, so I'm going to come back this way. Yes, it's from Raina, a local Melbourne designer, does fantastic suits, and as soon as I sort of thought about the AFLW Awards, I thought a little bit extra. I love a good suit, but this is easily the best one that I've probably ever worn. I love it.
I am joined here by Andrew Dillon tonight. Now, have you got a sneaky suspicion on who's going to win?
Look, my wife got herself into a bit of trouble at the Brownlow by it.
I was going to say.
So all I'm going to say is I think it'll be a very close count.
All right, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I hope so, yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Emma, you've already achieved so much so far in 2024. What are you proudest of?
I'm super excited that we got the timing released in terms of next year. That was a huge, huge thing that we wanted to do. And we said we wanted to give stability and we wanted to allow our clubs and our players to plan. And I think we've achieved that. So that was huge.
Talk to us. You've been here before. You've won a Best and Fairest 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
2021.
2021. So you know the anticipation that builds for those players. Can you talk to us about that experience?
Yeah, it's a really interesting one. I think that with me, the year I sort of won it, I actually came in with no expectations, just came to have a good night. So, I don't know, there's always a little bit of nerves, and there's always, people come up to you and go, oh, I think you're a favourite this year, and I think, the likes of like Ed Marinoff and those types will be hearing that tonight, and I'm sure it'll build a little bit of nerves, but it's also just a really fun night and a great time to just be with your teammates and have a few drinks and, yeah, just enjoy it.
Tilly Lucas Road, now the Hawthorn player as well. You had a great season this year. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I think you saw, like, we just had a lot of fun. Like, on the field, we're kind of playing, attacking, free-flowing footy, and that was, like, the universal feeling around the club. It stemmed from, I guess, the men's season and the way they played, and we just kind of had the freedom to go out there and be creative and play really attacking footy. So I guess that got results in the end.
Is hockball a thing? Is that do the girls get around hockball?
Yeah, Webby used it pre-game once. He said unleash hockball, but we also didn't know what it means. So I think it just means that, like, play with flair, kind of have fun, and yeah, go with it.
Hello and welcome back to season 2 of Tagged. Ruby, Sarah, your 2 hosts. Sarah Hosking, that is. Sarah wrote that, look, the feedback was overwhelming, the end of year survey, and they want me back, Rowie. I'm sorry, you were rubbish. So I'm making a return.
So we're here with Sarah Black at the W Awards, an absolute footy expert. So I think your tips are much welcomed here. Who do you think is going to take out the grand final, Brisbane or North?
Well, I had to do my tips earlier today, and I went with Brisbane. I just think they're really hard to tip against in finals. They're just so ferocious, as you would know.
What about the grand final this weekend? Are we going for Brisbane or North Melbourne?
Well, it depends on who you're asking. If you're asking Kate McCarthy, the punter, I'm going for the Lions. If you're asking Kate McCarthy, the analyst, she still thinks the Lions will win.
Oh, here we go. Okay, controversial as always.
Oh my goodness, I think it's going to be one of the more epic grand finals that we would see. I'm just feeling Brisbane. Again, I think it's going to be Brisbane in a close one.
I know this is a bit of a sore spot now for Anya, but Brisbane or North?
That's a tough question because Vicky, obviously I live with Vicky and I love her, but do I want her to do better than me? Probably not. But I think I'd have to go with North, if I'm being fair.
Okay, well, it's been great to be the rose between the two thorns tonight. Brisbane or Melbourne? North Melbourne.
I'm going with North Melbourne. They need to win. I feel like they just need to spice things up. They've built their club for so long, so now it's finally time that they win and actually get a medal around their neck. They deserve it.
Grand final, I think North Melbourne.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful night.
Miss you guys.
Get
Love you,
best
Tagged
on.
fam.
We've got someone very exciting here today. We have the new Rising Star and the new Mark of the Year winner, Matilda Scholz from Port Adelaide. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here.
It's probably even nicer fresh off 2 big wins last night, right?
Yeah, it was like definitely unexpected. I didn't go in thinking anything because I think that's, you know, you don't want to get your hopes up and then come crashing down. But yeah, it was nice.
Matilda, surely you knew you were going to win Mark of the Year. Come on. I had like the perfect vision. I sat under that as you went up for the ball when we played you guys, and I was like, oh my God, this is an absolute spectacle. So surely you knew you were going to win Mark of the Year last night.
I was pretty annoyed 2 weeks later when Matilda Breed took her great mark. I was like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, that was a good mark. She took a very good mark. But yeah, I wasn't like just, I think, going expecting nothing and then you can't get disappointed.
The thing that did happen between both yours and Matilda Breed's mark was the shock on both of your faces after you came down.
Yes, very shocked. Like, I have been working so hard on my marking, not even just my contested marking, like my marking in general. I feel like nothing was sticking until that one mark, and then, well, it's probably the only really good mark I did all season, but that's all right.
No, but you also won the Telstra Rising Star. It wasn't just the mark that you took, it was your whole season that got rewarded last night. How did it feel to be classed the best young player in the league?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it hasn't really, like, hit me, I guess, yet. It's been a big couple of days, obviously playing the prelim, then coming back to Melbourne, winning those 2 awards. I don't know, it just hasn't sunk in, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, think of sinking in. What do you feel like you're going to do with your $70,000? Are you going to go on a holiday? You know, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I should go on a holiday. I should definitely save some. I said last night I still live with my parents, which I'm 19. Like, I'm allowed to still live with my parents.
No one's
just so you know, guys.
That.
But yeah, they'd probably be happy for me to save some money to get a house later on. But definitely want to go travelling. Shopping spree, maybe.
Shopping spree. Would you go on a shopping spree?
I think I would. I think I'd try be smart. Now that I'm 29 years of age and so mature
old.
I would be like, I should probably put away money for a house or something like that. But I would say 60,000 maybe away, 10,000 blow it.
Blow it.
I reckon. On clothes, whatever.
I love shopping, so it's definitely gonna be hard to save like a decent amount, I think, because I'm big shopper.
How much have you already spent?
None. I think like people bought me drinks last night, so it was great.
She's not putting her hand in her pocket. She's truly going to save this money. Now, actually, a question on that. Would you rather win the 70,000 or would you rather be in the grand final?
Oh. You have to say grand. You have to say grand.
It's such a stressful question.
She wants the money. The money's in the back pocket.
Oh, look, the money's nice. Yeah, both would be lovely, but I think you'd have to say grand final. Like, especially for like Port Adelaide, who we've been not great the past 2 seasons, and this year to be actually up there and doing well. I think a grand final this year would have been amazing.
That's such a diplomatic answer. What are you really thinking?
Let's go.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, actually, when we played you this year, like I said it, I think I was the one who called that you guys would beat Port based on your pressure and how much it's beat. Hawthorn. On how much your pressure had improved over the last 2 seasons. I remember just thinking like there was just you really asserted your dominance on us at the time, but. Going into the North game, how did you feel they asserted their dominance on you guys?
Oh, they're a very, very strong team. And we knew that. We knew that going into it. We knew what we had to do to stop them or slow them down. And I actually think we did that, but they are just so good. Like, they just came from everywhere. They had players all around the ground, like, free. And I was like, where are you guys coming from? So that, yeah, very, very strong side.
You spoke in the preseason about the fitness stuff, so you got a new strength and conditioning coach and high performance manager in. Did you feel that was a big part of that 8-game winning streak that you had?
100%. I was there last year, obviously, and our fitness was something we all lacked a bit, I guess, and we knew that. And then going into this season, we all worked so hard over the off-season, pre-season with our new S&C coach as well, and like in games we were saying we're fitter than them, we can do it, and like we've never said that before, so it plays a massive part.
Yeah, we spoke off air about the off season and how long it is. Was there a particular time that you just dialed in, because obviously there's 6 months of an off season now, or was it the start of your actual pre-season where there's 12-week running? Is that where all the hard work was done, or was it prior to that to get up to the level that you needed to get to?
I think it was a bit of both. Like, I know everyone worked so hard in the off season. We had a really strict like running program to get done like 3 times a week or whatever. So I think it was a bit of both, definitely.
There were a few other awards that were given away last night as well. Can you speak to how good Hannah Munyard's goal it was, even though it was your direct rival?
Yeah, well, would have loved to see Gemma get up there and receive that award, but Hannah Munyard was a very skillful goal. Like, yeah, running in on the boundary and kicking a check side was skillful.
Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't done that, unfortunately, but my fellow Irish has. So I was wondering, it's kind of the same thing. I was wondering, was it going to be
we are all one person.
Same. I can take credit for that. But Ashley Maloney, I think it was, for me, I was watching it being like it was between the two, because she had some incredible moments as well. But yeah, it was an amazing goal.
And then the All-Australian team, none of you guys made it in, but you made it into the squad. Was that a nice little acknowledgement for how far the club has come? So it was yourself, Sinead Goody and Amelie Borg?
Yeah, it was really nice. And they're two, one of my closest friends in the team, I'd say. So it was really just wholesome to be what's the word? Introduced? No.
Recognised?
Yeah. In front of the whole team at a team meeting. It was it was a nice moment.
It was also so nice to see Ebony Marinoff finally get recognised as well. And I think when you look at her last year to this year, becoming captain as well, and then becoming captain of the All-Australian team, what an absolute honour.
Yeah, and again, your direct rival, but you have to respect it, right?
Oh, definitely. And she's a lovely lady as well. Had some chats in the foyer yesterday before the awards, so yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see her, and she's a very good player.
So I heard a rumour that she was immediately annoyed that someone hugged her and got fake tan on her dress. Was that you?
No, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you. Is your tan fake?
No comment.
Speaking of that, I actually gave Rachel Kearns a hug last night from Geelong, and I hugged her, and as I hugged her I pulled her dress strap. Her dress strap broke and the two straps just broke. And I was like, oh no. And then I spoke to someone else, Geordie Ivy on our team, and she said she did the exact same thing to someone. So the joys of being a woman.
Is it true that Sinead Goody also had a wardrobe issue?
Yes, she went out like 2 hours before the awards last night and got a new dress. I don't know why. Her other dress was fine.
And there was a few spillages last night on dresses.
Yeah,
There's lots going on.
Yeah. We made it through, guys.
We made it through.
But is that your first AFLW awards that you've been to?
No, I went last year. Yeah.
But it was a different experience this year.
Very different experience.
Is everyone extremely motivated now for next year? Is everyone already kind of onto that trajectory? Because I feel like when you lose in prelims, it's like, okay, we're so close now. Is that the feeling around the group?
Yeah, I think we've learnt so much from this year, and we're all so excited just to come back next year and try and do it all again, even better if we can. So, yeah.
Just one last one on your coach, Lauren Arnell. Is it kind of wild to see her having given birth 10 months ago, obviously work with Sam Virgo and Daniel Merritt as your coaches this year to help her navigate that time, and then to have her lead you to a prelim this year with a 10-month-old baby in her arms?
I'm so happy for her. It's like beyond words, I guess. She's worked so hard and worked, I guess, to get all of our trust as well. So we've trusted her for the past 2 years, me for the past year, and for it to now just be finally paying off and seeing it work out for her, I'm just so happy. And little Marley is just the cutest little baby ever. She's adorable.
Works well.
Yeah, no, that's amazing to hear. I think Lauren Arnell, it's just an incredible story to see where you've come from. So that's all we have time for. Thank you so much, Matilda, for your time. It's been great to have you, and a massive congratulations. Before we get into the finals chat, we have one more beautiful moment that we want to show you from the coral carpet.
I am joined by Maddie Prespakis from Essendon. She's one of my former teammates, one of the former AFLW best and fairest as well. Mad, so you know the pressure of what a night like tonight brings.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I feel like I didn't get to do this though back in my year, but no, it's always a really good night, and my tip is Jazz Garner tonight, so I hope she gets the chocolates today.
Oh, Jazzy Garner. Now you and I have, for those that aren't watching, we're dressed in practically the same thing. I'm in a dress, you're in a suit, we're both in bright red. You look absolutely stunning. Give us a twirl, please. Just give us a quick little twirl. I'll hold that. Little twirl. She looks fantastic. Now, double twirled. I want to ask the question because it's been a tough year for you too. You faced some challenges. You were thrown in the media with some scrutiny. There's some absolute arseholes, excuse my language. But there were people that just made a lot of body shaming comments towards you, and it would have taken its toll.
Yeah, I feel like, every time I speak about it, it's definitely, I think for me, it's just learning to be able to be comfortable with how I look, and this is my body type, this is who I am, and I'm really grateful that my body can do things that that allow me to play the game that I do, and I feel like I've had to come a long way. I speak to people about it, and I've just purely had to accept that this is my body, but I'm very grateful for what it can do. It allows me to play the game that I love, and it does things that some people can't do, and while sometimes I look at other people and I'm like, I wish I can do that, people look at me and wish they could do what I can do. So it's really hard. It's definitely a challenging thing, and I struggle every week, to be honest, to be able to put the jersey on. I really struggle with it, but I've come a long way with accepting that my body is what it looks like, and I work really hard behind the scenes to get myself to feel good and look good, and I'm really happy with where I'm at the moment. I'm not the finished product, but I'm getting there. So
Mads, your body is incredible. I'm sorry, even when you're talking like this, I'm telling you, it's incredible. And I hate that you're faced with bloody critics and just dickheads that are happy to say that kind of stuff. But I'm sure along this journey as well, last couple of weeks, you would have had some young kids or people reach out to you and realise the positive impact you're having. Like you've taken a stance, but any in particular?
I think my partner's little girl, she kind of just said to me, what would you do if Florence came up to you and said, like, I hate my body, I think I'm fat, and, I hate how I look in the mirror? And I kind of cried thinking about it, because I was like, you're beautiful the way you are. And whilst I find it hard when people say that to me, that's exactly what I'd say to someone else. So it's learning to be able to deal with the criticism, but also if my partner's kid came up to me and said, I hate my body, it's being able to help with that as well, and any little girl. So I think anyone's beautiful, everyone's beautiful in their own body, and it's just for myself, it's learning to accept how I look.
Well, I'm telling you, keep doing whatever the hell you're doing because you're bloody amazing. Everyone is inspired by what you do, and I'm just proud of you as a friend and as a team.
Thanks, Sarah.
Rowie, beautiful work from your team last night, especially getting that from Maddie because it's such an important conversation to have in W. But now we've got to turn our attention to the grand final this weekend.
Yes.
I know you wish you were playing in it, but...
Like every player,
except for the ones that are actually playing in it. But it's a repeat of last year, isn't it?
It is, and it's kind of like, what sort of version of each team are we going to see? And will the hurt from last year bring North Melbourne where they need to be, and will they come out victorious in the end? Or will the firepower and the athleticism and the power of Brisbane override that? It's hard to know which way it'll go.
Now, it's a great news already that within less than 24 hours of tickets going on sale, it's sold out. You can't get in now. Good luck to everyone that's missed out, but you're going to have to find somewhere else to watch it because we've sold out Ikon Park for the second year running. Is it the North Melbourne effect?
Absolutely. I think that everyone is out there barking for North Melbourne at the moment.
Poor Brisbane.
I know, poor Brisbane. Look, they've had their time in the sun. I think we would love to see North Melbourne do it this time. I think they've had such an incredible last couple of years, but just haven't been able to get over the line. And I think that hurt should bring them across the line. But I suspect that they might outsmart them this weekend. I think Darren Crocker will be on his toes this weekend.
So that's your tip for the weekend?
That's my tip. I think that the smarts of North Melbourne and the hurt of last year and the emotion of that. I looked at one of Darren Crocker's interviews, I think recently, where he spoke about their biggest growth has been the honest conversations, that they've been able to confront things week in, week out and learn from their mistakes every week. So I suspect that they dug deep into the loss of last year and have found lots of ways to get over those pressure moments, because really that's what it comes down to on finals. It's those moments that matter. Can you believe more than the other team in those times? And that's what it'll come down to in finals.
And it's something that Brisbane is historically very good at, is just trusting that they know what they're doing and they can get the job done.
Well, it's a perfect example against Adelaide at the weekend when things got hard. You always see Brisbane come out in the third and fourth quarter. And the reason I believe that is because I do think that they're fitter and stronger than anyone in the competition. And I think it's very hard to keep with them in those moments of the game. So I think they're evenly matched, but in a different way is the way I see it.
Well, and it was in that last quarter that Brisbane just had the extra legs last year. North Melbourne's definitely fitter this year. You're tipping North Melbourne. Who's going to be your best on-ground medalist?
I think I'm going to go with Jazz Garner. Who are you going to go with?
You've got to go with someone like Jazz, right?
Yeah.
But she just doesn't poll enough votes in other things, does she? My head says North Melbourne's going to win. My heart says Brisbane because of that intangible thing. Brisbane, you can't tip against them in a final, can you?
No, it's hard to, knowing that they have won close games under pressure quite often, and they do it time and time again, and they also know how to win grand finals, because I think there is a level of when you can't get past a final or you haven't before, it's like that whole it's so close but yet so far away feeling. And I'm sure North are going into this as well thinking, we've been undefeated all year. Is it going to be now that we're going to be defeated? Like, there has to be these creeping thoughts in the back of your subconscious. But the other thing that's interesting about this grand final is that it's a 7:45 start, which is unusual.
Yes.
And I think a massive part of that is a big build-up for players. I think it's amazing for spectators, definitely, but I think as a player, for me personally, I'm like, if the game could be played early, so I have to think less, great. But other than that, it's like, how does a player distract themselves for the day?
Personally, I'm annoyed that I have to wait around all day because I'll get impatient too, but it will be a great spectacle. It's 7:45 p.m. start, Melbourne time, at Ikon Park on Saturday. We're going to have Lime Cordial as the pre-match entertainment as well, so that'll be entertaining too. But yeah, hopefully the biggest part of the entertainment is the game itself, because that's what we're all there for, right?
Yeah, definitely. I do think that it is going to be a great game. I think both teams have so many great players. Like, you know, you look at some teams and you go, who is it that's going to do something on the day that's, you know, just that, I suppose, individual brilliance. But each team has so many of those players.
Yeah. all the way down the list too. Like even the 21st chosen player on that list can have that sort of day.
Well, I look at someone like Niamh Martin, who hasn't been selected in the last 2 games. And
Of course,
I'm like,
another Irish player.
I know, sorry, I'm so biased. But she scored 2 goals, I think, the 2 games prior to that. It just shows that, like, those players aren't even being selected, and the players who are missing out for, say, an Emma Carney to come back, and what the feeling of the group is, but also how do you mind those players in these times as well. It's a massive week for the club, but there's so much build up and there's so much pressure, and it's just who can remain calm and composed this week, and I suppose not get too high with the process of what a grand final week brings.
Well, you even look at Brisbane. Kate Lutkins has been an emergency for the past few weeks, and she's been their grand final hero in the past. So it is a bit of a changing of the guard, I think, but I'm very, very excited about it.
No, I can't wait. I think everyone will be out there in full force this weekend.
Be vocal. If you're in that crowd, be vocal.
Absolutely. It's time for the tag list, thanks to Victoria, every bit different. Now, Hosco was meant to be selling me the Ballarat dream today. But I believe you know a lot more about Ballarat than she will ever know. So I'd love to know. Tell me, I've been meaning to go so many times. I've meant to have a football game down there my first season. Didn't end up going ahead. So I'm yet to go.
Well, there is AFLW that gets played there every year. But, I mean, I've been to a lot of gigs in Ballarat. There's a good live music scene there. But I think what Hosco most wanted to talk about was Sovereign Hill.
Yes,
heard. You've heard about Sovereign Hill?
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
I've seen pictures of it.
Okay.
And I know that it's Gold
Rush?
Gold Rush.
Yes. So if you're a Victorian school kid, primary school kid, you 100% have been on a school excursion to Sovereign Hill. You go, you pan for gold, you take old-timey photos. There's also a weird performance of it's called Blood on the Southern Cross, and it's like nighttime, and it's like silhouettes and sound effects, and kids love that stuff. But I think you'd also have a great day out there. You look really concerned right now.
No, I'm just thinking, so I saw the pictures and you're telling me, and they kind of all add up, but there's this real feeling of like history, and
yes.
you don't feel that everywhere you go. I think there just feels that there's something different about down there.
It's very much wanting to tap into life during the gold rush. Yeah. So
like
Ballarat
even the way people dress on the streets and stuff.
Yeah. So it's like when you go to Disney World and people are dressed up as Disney characters, but this is a small Australian town with gold rush vibes. I'm not really selling it that well, but it is fun, especially if you've got a small kid to go with. But I think you'd make a fun day out of it. You can get great candy there. Do you like candy? Hard candy?
Love candy.
You can go there and get that. Watch it get made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else is down in Ballarat?
What else is in Ballarat?
Yeah, obviously there's been football games down there as well.
Yes, at Mars Stadium.
But yeah, is that what Ballarat is mainly known for?
I've always known Ballarat for its live music. So people don't realise that little rural towns in Victoria have great live music scenes. But there are some fantastic live music venues in Ballarat, and a lot of Australian artists on tours will hit up Ballarat because it is only 90 minutes outside of Melbourne.
Yeah.
So it's such a great spot to put on a show or go to a music gig. You couldn't get tickets for the one in Melbourne. Why don't you get the tickets for the one in Ballarat? Go for a drive, enjoy your night. I've seen some very, very good bands there.
Yeah, and I absolutely love live music, and it's actually something I miss when I'm out in Australia because there's so much of it in Ireland that I just feel like I'm a bit deprived of it in Melbourne.
You haven't tapped into them.
I don't think I have.
Sarah.
I know, I have a lot to do, and I know there's so much music going on in Melbourne, but that like live music in a pub scene, that's kind of like every second bar that you go to in Ireland, it has that.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a bit of a kind of, you have to go, it's hide and seek, you have to go find it.
It's hide and seek.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to take you on a seeking mission.
Absolutely. Well, I think first and foremost, I need to get to Ballarat.
You need to get to Ballarat.
Yeah.
You can kill 2 birds with one stone, go to Ballarat for a gig and Sovereign Hill.
Absolutely.
Done.
Okay, a massive thank you to Gemma for stepping in today on such short notice. Now, all good things must come to an end. That's the end of our monster episode of Tagged. We roll into episode 18 next week, our final episode of the season. But before then, please get on and watch the grand final this weekend. Unfortunately, you can't get tickets because they're sold out, but that's the beauty of AFLW and the growing nature of the game. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and bye for now.
Get ready for all things AFLW. Join myself, Sarah Black, Gemma Bastiani and Lucy Watkin on Credit to the Girls as we break down the latest AFLW results. Tune in Mondays and Wednesdays or listen as a podcast anywhere.